Here's a rare and unusual digital clock. This clock was neither a one-of-a-kind homebrew, nor was it a production clock. You can see the front here is marked ICs for Managers, L.A. Hopkins Jr., May 1974. Then it has this symbol in the upper right corner. That symbol is the logo of Sandia National Laboratories, who does work for the U.S. military. L.A. Hopkins Jr. is presumably the person this clock was presented to, and May 1974 was the date. On the back here there's 3 controls: hold, fast set, and slow set. And you can see there's some masking tape residue there, unfortunately. This was kind of masking taped together when I got it. On the bottom there's just this marking 3-dot dash, which is a kind of marking you'd maybe see at a yard sale or antique store or something, which just means, you know, $3 and no cents. I believe the person I bought this from found it at a yard sale, so unfortunately the full history on this clock has probably been lost. Pressing the slow set button rapidly advances the seconds. Pressing the fast set button rapidly advances the minutes while holding the seconds. And the hold switch just holds everything. Those few of you that collect digital clocks can probably guess which chip it uses. It's the MM5314N, which was popular from when it was introduced in the early 1970s through to the late 1970s. It had quite a long run of popularity, and some kits using this chip were made even later than that. But by even the mid-1970s, better chips were available. Now I'm going to take this thing apart and show you why it says ICs for Managers up here. I think the inside of this clock is pretty interesting. I added these 2 screws here. They hold the thing together while avoiding the masking tape that previously held it together. I've got it unplugged now, and I'm going to take out those 2 screws. Then the cabinet will just slide apart. So here's the pair of circuit boards that make up the clock. You can see it's quite well made. There's the Sandia Labs logo again, and once more on the other board. You can see that the displays are socketed, which is pretty unusual. These are Electronics branded displays. In my opinion, they made some of the nicest 7-segment displays in the 1970s. They're very clear and easy to read, and they've got kind of a cool look even when powered off. As you can see, there's very few discrete components in this clock, which is pretty unusual for one based around the MM5314N, which is dated 3/51, the 51st week of 1973. These gold-plated chips here were made by Raytheon. I believe they are quad transistor packages. I forget what function this RCA CA3081 serves. These items marked EWR- a number are hybrid modules. They're not really integrated circuits, and I believe they're what Sandia Labs was trying to show off. They're all socketed as well, and some of them are kind of coming apart, so I should probably be a little bit careful. I also need to remember to put that back the way it was. You can see this one here runs a little bit hot as the board is kind of discolored there. The displays are multiplexed, and all the wiring for that is built into this printed circuit board, which is nicely socketed, something you don't generally see in consumer clocks. There's a 12 or 24-hour switch here, depending on which mode you want the clock to be in. And they even put a fuse here. Now, when I got this clock, the cord had been cut off, and this capacitor was clearly blown. It had leaked electrolyte onto the board. You can actually see a little bit of it left over there. I replaced the capacitor and the cord, and that brought the clock back to life, thankfully. I tied a knot in the cord here and then, wrapped it in electrical tape to prevent it from rubbing against the wood case. That should be safe and secure. The circuit board is held in by those screws on the bottom there, which bolt to the transformer and this socket here for the display board. See, it's a 12-volt secondary transformer. I just remembered this module here contains the rectifier diodes. So at least this one package here contains semiconductor devices. I believe these other 2 are just resistors though. Here's the other side of the front piece. You can see this red filter is just scotch taped in place. And you can see a little M logo. That must be the logo of the company that made this circuit board material. If you look closely here, you'll see that this is actually soldered copper, because this is an etched piece of circuit board material. There's not really much else to see on the inside of the case. Now, just for the heck of it, I'm going to show you guys this clock powered up with the cover off. You can see the first digit briefly glitched there, but then sorted itself out. I think you can see what I mean about these electronics displays being very pretty. No one else is really making them with kind of light pipes that stick out like that. You can see that they're quite readable even at a steep angle. That wasn't really true of most other displays from the same time period. This is definitely a cool piece of history, and I'm happy to have it. Thanks for watching.